What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan from Last Week in Wrestling Podcast. And no, we still don't have an intro for the booking show. I know. I'm sorry. I'm a bad host. But at least I got a cool couple of people with us to do the booking show with. So that's always a lot better than sometimes a corny ass intro. But nonetheless, we are going to be talking about all things Royal Rumble because this Saturday, of course, is WWE's first and biggest pay-per-view of them all, the Royal Rumble, something that Pat Patterson has started many moons ago and is a tradition that he created, and it is in his honor that we will continue the actual tradition itself. And of course, we're going to have a men's one, a women's run, and two title matches as well. One being the United States Championship, and the other being the SpongeBob belt, the Ugly Mustard belt, the I don't work
The
at all
McDonald's
throughout the
title.
year belt, the Tribal Queef belt, whatever we're calling it this week here in pro wrestling. But nonetheless, I am, like I said, your host from Last Week of Wrestling podcast. Of course, I am with none other than kicking it old school with none other than Leo himself. Leo, how are you, buddy?
I am feeling great. I am feeling great. I am feeling great.
Awesome.
Ready to talk some Royal Rumble and some fantasy booking, so I'm excited.
Dope. And of course, we have none other than I'm trying to figure out how to do this new thing here. Oh, nope, I didn't mean to do that to you. All right. How do you do the cool I was trying to figure out it last night what you were doing there, Byron.
Oh, this guy, amateur.
Yeah, totally. No, 100%.
So you gotta just drag the person over, drag them over.
Oh,
I
okay,
believe
okay.
that's what you gotta do. So
All right.
drag Ace over, I think, and it'll
All
put him
right,
in a good place.
there it is. There it is. And one half of the awesome couples podcast, none other than No Bones About Wrestling themselves, Asa. How are you, buddy?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So happy to have you. And of course, my teacher to teach me StreamYard a whole lot fucking better. Big B himself on the Flex Zone. My
Oh
guy,
boy.
Byron. How are you, buddy?
Doing great. We're gonna get you there, Dylan, and appreciate you being on the stream last night. I know we were on a little late, but I saw you
I was
pop
there.
in. Definitely shouted you out, man. Appreciate you and
Yeah.
appreciate all you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We all right, now how do I go back to oh wait, hold on. How do I go back to
Probably
what I
at the bottom it should be some squares. You probably want to hit the one on the far left or the
All
one
right.
with like the two. There you go.
There it is.
And you can
Okay.
drag yourself back up to the top if you want.
Yeah, because I'm the host. Come on now. No, but what's going on, everybody? This is going to be awesome. Of course, this is the second booking show that we are doing, and it's a tradition now we're going to start doing here on the Last Week of Wrestling podcast, on the No Bones About Wrestling podcast, and of course, the Flex Zone, and many more to come, where we give you our cards that how we would book the big pay-per-views themselves, whether it be the Royal Rumble, Revolution, Money in the Bank, WrestleMania, and so much more. And maybe some guests along the way will come on and help us make their cards as well. But last week we talked about some of the matches, some of the things that we would have kept, some of the people that maybe we would have changed, maybe changing the actual match in itself entirely. This week we are going to be doing predictions. So kind of like how we did it last week, gentlemen, we're going to do it again the same way. We're going to go over the actual confirmed card for Royal Rumble, and it's only 4 matches, 2 of them being the men's Rumble and the women's Rumble. Hey, listen, Friday Night SmackDown's coming. You never know, Byron. They might add like 3 more matches just to spite us and everything because they saw you so happy. But nonetheless, we're going to go through the actual card itself, some of the confirmed people that are in both the men and the women's Royal Rumble, as well as the competitors for the title matches, and then how we would do it, so on and so forth. And then our little predictions as well at the end to kind of wrap up the show itself. So let's get right into it. The men's Rumble, what I feel is going to be starting off the show. For this one here, there's a lot more at stake. And I think that is a good way to set the tone of how this is going to go. Unfortunately, last night we saw on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins had to unfortunately let everyone know due to his injury, he might be away for a little while. But no matter what, he's going to come back for WrestleMania. He said, I'm bringing the title to Mania, and I am going to defend it. None other than Gunther comes out to let him know that when I win the Rumble, you are my first person that I will be challenging for that title, which means could we be getting a double belt season again with Gunther and Roman Reigns? Well, he's holding 3 now, right? 4, 5. He's like
3,
the whack version of
technically,
Kenny Omega right now as a belt collector and everything. But like I said, I think this is a perfect way to start off the Royal Rumble because the stakes are high. You got Cody Rhodes. You got CM Punk. You got now Gunther in the mix. You got Drew McIntyre in the mix. You got people like possibility of the brand new board of directors, The Rock, showing up and making an impact. We have so much more here at stake when it comes to this Rumble in particular that I feel like this might actually start to show off, to kick the tone and to see what direction we're going to be in. I see Asa looking at me sideways. So we'll start with you, buddy. And of course, hello to everybody here in the chat. Jojo, Wolf, Young Philip, how's everybody doing? Asa, my man, talk to me. You're looking at me sideways when I say that this is going to start it off. Do you think that it's going to, or do you think that this is going to be something a little different?
Man, I hope not. That'd be a bummer, man. Like I don't know if it's always been, because I kind of got out of wrestling for a little bit, but like as long as I've been watching, it's always been the main event of the show. You know, I mean, I like the night building up to the men's Royal Rumble, and then finding out who's going to be a challenger at WrestleMania. That's the whole point of the Royal Rumble. Finding out who's going to be a challenger at WrestleMania. That's the whole excitement of the night. Is it going to be, a former champion getting a shot to reclaim a belt, or is it going to be a new talent getting a shot to make themselves a star? That's the whole exciting thing. That should be the main event, no doubt.
Right, and Wolf is saying that he thinks that the Women's Rumble is the one that started last year. I think it was actually the men's.
The men's started last year.
Men's started last year, so maybe it is going to be reversed this year around. And like JoJo said,
I don't remember
surprise. That. You don't remember it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was okay.
The men's
it was all right.
Started. Yeah, the men started.
Last year's was trash. The men's was trash
Yeah,
last year. The women's was.
I was very upset with last year's Royal Rumble. Oh, Hulk Hogan might be him and Gandalf Kane. Listen, that could be the unexpected surprise. Him just whacking everybody on the legs with the Gandalf stick and taking them all out one by one. No, nobody's here with me on this one. Abort.
Do not.
Wolf saying abort the mission. Absolutely abort the mission. But no, I'm going to stick with you, Asa, on this one real quick because I want to hear your thoughts before we move on to somebody else. Do we think that, with everything that is at stake here for the men's Rumble in particular, maybe new challengers are going to be made. Cody Rhodes might actually finish the story. CM Punk might not actually get his opportunity to main event WrestleMania and so far and so on. Do you think that this Rumble itself matters more for the direction of the titles going into WrestleMania than the ones in previous past?
No, just because they can always, finagle their way into whatever they want. You know what I mean? I mean, they've always found a way. If they want to change the main event from the Royal Rumble winner, they will. So in a way, no. In a way, yes. Just because, now that I think about it, just because it is WrestleMania 40, it's a big deal. And I think people really are excited about the title matches this year. So if they stick with the winner, it is a bigger deal than in years past. But maybe just on the face, not a bigger deal than in years past. Yeah.
I mean, you got Cody Rhodes, like I said. You got Punk now in the mix. You got Gunther challenging none other than Seth Rollins for the potential title match, in a sense, where he could win another belt and add to that lineage of excellency for his reign as one of the best intercontinental champions of the modern era. So do you feel that maybe now with those type of stakes being as high as they are and the possibility of returning people like an Andrade, which is also rumored to be showing up there. Forget all the Hulk Hogan jokes and X-Pacs and Booker T's aside for a second, adding something like an Andrade to the mix to possibly come in there and eliminate a good amount of people. Brock Lesnar is another one that sticks to the mind of possibly coming back for now WrestleMania season and possibly being the one to eliminate Gunther to challenge Gunther later on for that Intercontinental Championship.
I mean, yeah, some returning people would be nice. Brock Lesnar in the Rumble, I don't know, that doesn't excite me. Yeah, I enjoyed his feud with Cody Rhodes last year. That was very cool. I don't usually enjoy Brock's stuff.
Yeah.
Just, he's got a couple moves and he uses them over and over. Doesn't really intrigue me at all.
You don't like Cowboy Brock?
No.
You're not a Cowboy Brock fan?
But like I said, I did enjoy the Cody. I enjoyed the Cody feud because he broke out some different stuff. And I really enjoyed those matches.
Okay.
But it would be cool to see Andrade come back. I don't expect him to really do anything big in the Rumble. I don't expect any surprise entrance to make a big splash, really.
Yeah. So now I'm going to pass it over to you, Byron. Some of the names that are confirmed, like we said already, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Kofi Kingston, and Damian Priest, just to name a few. And like I said prior to Asa, with the stakes being a little bit higher this time around for the Royal Rumble with WrestleMania 40 coming up and the Elimination Chamber at Perth, is there more of an all eyes on deck when it comes to this year's men's Royal Rumble going into now WrestleMania 40?
Oh, wow.
This is the most unpredictable Royal Rumble I've ever seen. There are literally probably 10 guys that you can make a case for winning it, and you really can't say that every year. Like last year, you knew Cody was winning it. Then you bring him out at number 30. That just was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, you got Cody, you got Punk. Monday, they threw a nice curveball with Gunther because people forget about Gunther because I think, in my opinion, if CM Punk didn't come back, Gunther was my pick to win the Rumble. You have Gunther go into the Rumble, win the Rumble as IC champion, go into WrestleMania, beat Seth, have 2 championships, relinquish the IC title the Monday after Raw, and Gunther's your world champion. Kind of like a, what did they do? I think they did like a Lex Luger thing back in the day when he went for 2 titles. So you kind of got to unpredictable. You got Jey Uso. He said he's going after championship gold. You got Sami Zayn. You got Drew McIntyre. You got the stupidest Money in the Bank winner, Senor Money in the Bank, because every week he could cash in. He doesn't. I don't know what they're doing with him, but there's a lot of people that can win the Rumble. I mean, it's a very unpredictable field. I like you guys said, they're not announcing who's in the Rumble. I would like to see them bring back the Tumbler. That was cool. But
Yeah.
it's unpredictable. I like I said, I have an opinion who I think might win, but you can make a case for 7, 8, 9, 10 people. It's an unpredictable field. I think we're gonna get some feuds built up and revved up a little bit, and maybe some returns, like you guys said. So I'm excited to see what happens, what they cook up. Triple H is probably first Rumble where it's just him. So let's see what he does.
Awesome. And now we'll kick it over to you, Leo, to wrap this up before we give our predictions for the Rumble and then kind of go through the card on how we would kind of prepare ourselves as the bookers of this actual show itself. So, Leo, pretty much echoing the same questions. You know who's coming in. You know the stakes are high. You know that this one, like Byron just said, it's a very different Royal Rumble feel. There's a lot more on the table here. Ace is saying the same thing in essence. There's cool ideas that are definitely floating around that table of what could happen and the potential of what is going to be Elimination Chamber and possibly WrestleMania 40. So what are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, like everybody's been saying, like this is very unpredictable because they can go with many different talents You know, you have your Cody who wants to finish his story. You have Gunther who wants to remind everybody he has been one of the most dominant champions. He wants to add to his history and his legacy by winning the Rumble. Finished last year. He was the last to be eliminated. He wants to go all the way this year and prove that he is that guy and being that one of the most dominant guys in the company. You have CM Punk who wants to make a statement. 10 years ago, he walked out of the company. 10 years later, he's back and trying to win the Rumble. You have other people in the wings, like a Chad Gable, who wants to make a star, who wants to be a star in the company. It can have a star-making moment. You have like a Jey Uso, who could probably be in this Rumble if he hasn't been announced already, to remind everybody why he's truly main event Jey Uso. What bigger way to remind everybody who you really are by winning the Rumble? So I really feel like when you look at the stacked talent, like you have Damian Priest, he said, I could cash in or I can win the Rumble some way, somehow I'm going to become champion. So that's another route that you can go. I'm pretty sure you're going to add every member of the Judgment Day in there. You're going to probably have R-Truth doing some crazy shenanigans. You're probably going to have Dominic get booed out the building 9 times out of 10. You're going to want to have Finn Balor remind people that he can still go and he can still perform at a high profile level. I think we tend to forget how good he really is, since he hasn't really been able to win in a lot of big matchups last years of late. I mean, the guy isn't a former NXT champion for nothing. He isn't a former Intercontinental champion and U.S. champion for nothing. He even finished in the Final Four in the 2018 Rumble with Cena and Reigns a couple of years ago. I think people tend to forget that even as well. The first ever Universal Champion. Who did he have to beat to go through and get that title? He had to go through two of the biggest stars that they have right now in Reigns and Rollins to do it. So I think a lot of people, could be somebody that I think remind a lot of people that this guy is a main event talent when it's really given the chance to. But I really do think it's going to be a great Rumble nonetheless, because I think there is a lot of different people they can go with and make a start of, depending on the route they want to go with.
Yeah, exactly. And what's going on, Eric? How are you, buddy? I see you in the chat. But Wolf is also throwing out that idea that there's a possibility of a lot of NXT appearances, the Braun Breakers. Carmelo Hayes, in a sense, is already on SmackDown, but Ilya Dragunov and Dijak possibly even coming in there to make a name for themselves, make that statement and let them know, like, hey, NXT might be on Tuesdays. It might be happening right now. It might be on CW, but we're still here and we're still going to make a presence for ourselves. Whether they eliminate 1, 4, none, it doesn't matter. Them being on one of the grandest stages of them all besides WrestleMania to make that statement is a big thing for them. So I think that also does play into the possible sneak factor of who could be someone that we might have to keep an eye out for going into, the other pay-per-views going down the road. But I want to hear your final four, Leo, and then we'll pass it over to Asa and get his final four and his pick of who's winning the Rumble for him. So, Leo, who's your final four, and then who you got winning?
For the men's, I'm going to go Cody, Drew, Punk, and Gunther.
Okay.
Those are going to be my final four, and CM Punk eliminates Cody to win the Rumble.
All right, so let me write this down on my little notepad because I'm 80 years old and I keep forgetting things. So that way when I make the polls for everybody, we could have everything going on. So Leo, Byron, I knew I forgot to do something prior. See, this is what happens when you get older. Don't get old, guys. All right, so men's Rumble. So you got 4 is Punk, Cody,
Drew, and Gunther.
And who do you have winning?
I have CM Punk winning.
CMP. Asa, you're up. Who's your final four? Who's your winner?
Cody, Gunther, and Ricochet.
Woo! And that's a good one, Ricochet. That's the one I would.
Okay, and who do you have winning?
I got Punk eliminating Cody.
Okay. Ooh, Punk eliminating Cody.
Yeah.
Big B, my guy.
Just to switch things up, and this
Yes.
may not happen.
Let's get
And
saucy here.
I want
Okay.
the geeks to cry. I want the neckbeards to complain.
Yes.
I want the stands to wallow in the tissues that they use for other things.
Absolutely.
At the end of the night for
Yeah.
the Royal Rumble because they don't touch grass. I want to watch Twitter or X burn down. I want to watch all these people go crazy.
That's what type.
Today
Yeah, this is the type of shit
we
I'm talking
we
about.
we saw a certain person today pontificating around with Ari Emanuel with Nick Khan. He was on First Take. He was
Goddamn.
he was on I think MSNBC or CNN or all those
Yeah.
Fox Business channels. He's
ESPN
apparently
too.
now a board of director or all those things. I hope it happens just to see people go crazy, just so I can see Leo freak out and have a rant, just so I can see Asa say he's not watching WWE anymore. This is why he took a break, and just to see Dylan, blow aneurysm and just go all Long Island on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
This
want
is
to
the shit
see
that I'm talking about.
I want to see Dwayne the Rock Johnson come in at number 30 and eliminate Cody to win the Royal Rumble for all you geeks out
Rock,
there, just to piss you people off.
Lim,
Oh, best believe
Cody.
you're gonna achieve that. If that
Who's your
happens.
final four though? So you got Rock as the final four. So Rock and
Rock,
Cody.
Cody, Punk, Gunther. Gunther eliminates Punk. Cody eliminates Gunther, and Rock eliminates Cody.
Wow.
Yeah, people are definitely gonna be
So
pissed off about that one.
you want the neckbeards to go wild. You want chaos and hostility in the streets for a long time.
I want
At least
people going
elimination chamber.
crazy. I want people going crazy. I want people pissed off. I want people saying they're never going to watch again, even they're going to watch the next night on Raw or
Yeah.
2 days on Raw. I just want them to go crazy. I just want to do something different.
Wow, that's dirty. That's some dirty shit right there. I like it though. I'll be honest. That's a good one. That's a good one. Wolf saying his final four is Punk, Cody, Drew, Sammy. Punk wins by eliminating Drew. That's my switch up a bit. All right. Sounds good. Everyone else leave their stuff in the comments as well, and we'll pull it up throughout the show. But let's get to the men's. First title match here. All right. So we'll do the United States one because I figured this is how I would book the show itself. Men's Rumble, United States title, Women's Rumble, then end it with the Roman Reigns Fatal 4-Way. That's kind of how I would set it off because you have this up and down pace where you're starting off the show with everyone talking like, did you watch the Rumble? You better start watching it now because shit's about to pop off. Now let's get to the United States one. Byron, we'll stick with you with this one. You got Logan Paul. You got Kevin Owens. I know last time we spoke, you said that, it is what it is. We're going to keep it. But do you think differently now? Do you think that now seeing that Kevin Owens promo, seeing that Logan Paul promo, seeing them meet in the ring, that maybe this match should have different competitors? Should Logan Paul still be champion? Should he lose come Royal Rumble time, or should he retain? Talk to me.
I'm cool with the match, but maybe we could switch it up a little bit. Maybe we could do some type of, I don't know. I don't know if it would be carny or goofy, but Logan Paul is like a fighter, right? And
Yep.
Kevin Owens is known as the prize fighter. How about like a boxing type of match stipulation? Because they got this background, and I think Kevin Owens was using the cast and hitting people with the cast, and Logan
Right.
Paul is known for that one punch. Maybe let him have some sort of like boxing match. We've seen MMA matches, we've seen cage fights kind of in NXT, like a fight pit, maybe like a boxing stipulation where you give him like 3 rounds, 3 5-minute rounds, and you let him go at it, throw some punches. I mean, and then maybe, you get Logan Paul doing like some cheap heel stuff where he like pokes the eye or hits below the belt, and then it just breaks out into like all out brawl. And, then you maybe do something like that. And then Kevin Owens damn near knocks out Logan Paul. The referee gets denied. Logan Paul gets up with the help of like Jake Paul or something, or one of his goonies on his channel. And then, someone slides him brass knucks when he's distracted and knocks out Kevin Owens. And that's how he retains the belt. Maybe sets up a rematch or something.
Okay. And you got Logan Paul.
Yeah, I got Logan
retaining.
Paul winning because most people really don't care about this match. So I'm just trying to get you to care about it a little bit,
Right. Okay. Fair enough. And you're going to go the creative route. We're going to do a boxing stipulation for this one and everything. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Asa, talk to me, buddy. We got, of course, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens. one-on-one competition for the United States. Do we want to go creative? And if so, what would you want to do for the actual match itself? How would you book this match if you were in charge? Or do you want to keep it the same? You also have the option to change the whole entire opponents, making the title vacant, or you could change the challenger if you want to just change the challenger. Do you need some time?
Come back to me.
Okay. All right, Leo, you ready? You ready for me, buddy?
I guess so.
All right. I know. This is the part of the show. This is the show itself where you guys get to be truly in charge of what is going to be of the actual show itself. You have the option here to create your own United States title opportunity match. We're keeping the title as the thing that is the basis of the show, which is what it is. But you get to do something like Byron just said. Let's do a fun, creative match, boxing match, do all these crazy things. And then, of course, Logan Paul retains because he's Logan Paul. You can make a fun stipulation. You can keep the match the way it is. You could change both opponents. You could just change the challenger. So what are we thinking for you on how you would be booking this United States title?
Well, I would keep the opponents. I would keep it being Kevin and Logan.
Okay.
I will change the stipulation though. I feel like that they could ramp it up a little bit, since every time you have an interaction, Logan's always trying to go the cheap way or try to escape. I mean, I was going to say a steel cage just so Logan couldn't escape from Kevin Owens, but I think we go with something we haven't seen, like a stipulation for the championship we haven't seen in quite some time. The last time we had the U.S. title be defended in this match was going back to 2019. So I would propose Logan Paul, Kevin Owens for the United States Championship in a ladder match. This is something we haven't really seen between these two. We know what Kevin Owens can be capable of with the ladder. We know what Logan Paul can do if in a ladder situation. So I would go a ladder match for the United States Championship.
Okay. And who do you got coming out on top, though?
I would have Logan still retain, because I feel like this could be a way to keep Kevin Owens looking strong because he didn't take a pin in this situation. You can set up a potential rematch at the next pay-per-view or something down the line, or if they want to do that. But it keeps both competitors looking strong to where none of them really look weak. So it plays into, Kevin Owens, him in his favor with losing but not being pinned, but also keeping a title on Logan, but him not taking a loss or anything like that right now.
Okay.
He keeps
I like that.
strong as a heel.
I like that. So we got a ladder match stipulation, a boxing match stipulation, but Logan Paul is still remaining victorious. Will Asa be the one to dethrone Logan Paul? Talk to me, buddy. What kind of match setup are you having for this year's Royal Rumble United States Championship?
Well, I'm dethroning him before the match.
Oh, whoa.
It's vacated.
Wait a second.
It's vacated.
All right,
It's
hold on a
vacated.
minute. So dethroning Logan before match.
Yeah, I'm throwing both guys out.
Okay, so both guys are gone.
Both
So
guys are gone.
so the US belt is now vacant.
Yeah, and we're gonna just bring two competitors that I like.
Okay,
and,
who we
and
bringing?
Who are deserving.
Who we're deserving.
By
Okay.
Skill. Santos Escobar.
Okay, so the new match. So new match is going to be Escobar
And Ricochet.
Ricochet.
And we're gonna have a nice wrestling display. Gonna be a 2 out of 3
match?
falls match.
Oh, 2 out of 3 falls. Now, did you want to make it a little spicy and do Lucha Libre style?
I mean, that's how they would wrestle for the match. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Okay.
how they would go at it. Yeah.
Okay. And then who do you have winning and becoming the new United States champion?
Ricochet. Let him get some goddamn recognition.
Rico. Okay. So let's just go over this real quick here. We already have the Royal Rumble. We got our 4. We got our winners. Now we're going over to the United States title. We got dethroning both guys. They're done. They're not even in. They're only in the Rumble itself to be looked at for a little bit of time and then thrown over the top rope. They're gone. They're never coming back again. So instead, we got Escobar and Ricochet for Asa, and they're going to do a 2 out of 3 falls, making Ricochet the victor of the 2 or 3 falls as the brand new United States champion. For Byron, we got a boxing stipulation match 1-on-1 with Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. And of course, Logan Paul, that cheap, dirty bastard, he's going to cheat his way to victory again and become the retaining United States champion. And then, of course, my guy kicking it with Leo himself has a ladder match that hasn't been done for the United States title since 2019, both keeping the same competitors, but Logan Paul is still going to retain the title itself. Gentlemen, talk to me. What made you guys say this is the reason? Why are you guys changing the matches and competitors themselves? Leo, we'll start with you.
I feel like, sometimes having a certain type of stipulation could kind of bring some type of importance to a championship. Sometimes it's not really like, sometimes it's person holding the championship. Sometimes it's the matches that it gets defended in to where it can gain prestige for the championship. And I wanted to change it, but I wanted to, because if I did, I like Ace's answer. He said Ricochet. I would have said Ricochet in a dream match with Rey Mysterio, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm just going to keep it where it is with Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. But I just think the United States Championship it'd be a great match if they would have did a ladder match, because it's like the last time we actually seen the title be defended in a ladder match, 2019, like I said. And who was in that match? None other than Andrade, who winning the championship. I think was champion at the time, versus Rey Mysterio. So I do think this could be a way to kind of get some type of eyes back on the championship once again.
Okay. Byron, why the boxing route? Why say, let's go with the style of what Logan Paul knows best, which is boxing? Why put that into this Royal Rumble? Why have it be the way that it is set for you?
Because he's a prick and he's a heel, so he's always going to do something where he has the advantage. So he's the champ. He's going to make the rules. He's going to make you play his game. And I know you guys mentioned Ricochet, and you mentioned Finn Balor earlier, Leo. Don't know if you guys know Ricochet is a free agent this year. Don't know if you guys know that he is a free agent this year. And Finn Balor is apparently a free agent after WrestleMania. He has not signed a new deal, as neither has Drew McIntyre yet. So just some little insider information if you haven't known, breaking that to you guys. So keep it. A lot of big free agents in 2024. So those are some that you may not know about.
Wow.
Ricochet for TNA?
I don't know. His wife's in WWE though. You know how that
he
goes.
might stay though. He
Yeah,
might stay
he
just
might
because his wife's
stay.
there.
He does
Drew
deserve better, though.
McIntyre
I'm
in
with
TNA,
Asa.
though, would be
I'm with Asa.
interesting.
I'm with Asa. Ricochet deserves better. We need Ricochet and Ospreay, but
Hey,
I'm gonna leave that
wait
alone.
till we get to the
Ricochet,
main event.
Ricochet, Ospreay, fucking take my mother's credit card. All right, like
Wait till we get to the
I'm
main event.
maxing the bank out for that one. All right,
Yeah, so I'm just
maxing the bank out for that one.
just
All right,
breaking
Wait till
some
we get
news
to the main
here.
event. You guys will like it. Wait till we get to the main event.
all right. So, Asa, talk to me. Dethroning both guys, telling them fuck off. You don't deserve this spot. You only belong in the Rumble itself, and it's going to be Escobar and Ricochet. Ricochet winning this 2 out of 3 falls. Talk to me. What made you come to this conclusion?
Well, first, I don't like Logan Paul, so he's gone. I don't want to see
Fair
him.
enough. Fair enough.
And then Owens just had to go because I wanted, a certain style, like a technical style, but also the Lucha Libre style, and those two guys can bring that mixture of the technical and the high flying, Escobar and Ricochet, where it's not all just jumping around. They can actually wrestle too, and they can show all that off in a 2 out of 3 falls match where it may go 3 falls, and really have a battle. And like Leo was saying, have the stipulation actually make the title worth more. You know, you have a stipulation, make it a long match, tell a story throughout this match. You know, battling for 3 falls, and it automatically makes the title worth more because you see these 2 guys out there fighting for it.
Right. I like that. I do. I think it's actually a really cool idea. The boxing one is hilarious. It definitely plays on the strengths of none other than Logan Paul himself. So that is always a big win. I do like Leo's as well with the ladder match. I think that would be really fun and exciting. Something we haven't seen in a long time, but I do like Aces just a tad bit more because I do like the technical 2 out of 3 falls. I think that would make it a little bit more interesting. But I do have to say right now, Byron's Rock winning the Royal Rumble and eliminating Cody is probably my favorite right now. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if that happens, whoo, there's going to be a lot. The internet's gonna burn down. The internet is gonna. How do you let the board of directors beat Cody Rhodes? Is my question. If that doesn't smell like corporate rock, then I don't know what does. You know what I mean? Like that is truly, truly going to be something else. But let's go on. Let's continue. Now, the next match, as I said before, this is how I would do the show itself. We would start with the men's, then we would go to the United States. Now, we would kick it off with the women's rumble. So some of the confirmed entries right now are Bayley, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupri, and Ivy Nile herself. Asa, I know you have very strong feelings about the women's rumble itself. So we'll start with you because I figured you might be a little bit easier and quicker to give me your quick 4 and your winner of this match. There is still a lot here to talk about, not as much as something like the men's with all the titles and opportunities and crazy fucking moments that could be happening. But of course, Rhea Ripley's title is on the line for #1 contender spot at WrestleMania 40, and same goes for Io Skies at WrestleMania 40. So, my man, who is your final 4, and who do you have winning the Royal Rumble?
I think have Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Bayley.
Becky, Bayley.
Have Alba Fire because I like her.
Oh, okay.
And God, what's her name? Oh, that's a good one. Asuka.
Asuka.
Yeah.
Asuka. All right. And then who do you have as the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble?
This is my prediction, right?
Prediction. This is just a quick prediction.
Becky Lynch.
Becky, Funky Toe Beck.
Yeah.
All right. Byron likes that. We'll go with you now, Byron. Byron, you know when it's with me, you're having a great fucking time. You know what I mean? When it's with me, you're having a great fucking time. We got nicknames for everybody here. You know what I mean? So, Byron, Women's Rumble. What do we got for me, buddy? Who's your 4?
Definitely Bayley. Definitely Becky Lynch. I know Leo doesn't like to hear that, but Becky Lynch. I'm gonna throw Nia Jax in there.
Oh,
we're gonna get Snorlax.
I'm probably rated a freeze.
I'm telling you, we're gonna get Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. That's gonna be your women's match for Elimination Chamber. Rhea Ripley is gonna lift Nia Jax up and shake the tectonic plates of Australia. That you'll be able to feel it in Long Island. And my 4th woman, I'm gonna go AJ Lee.
AJ Lee.
Switch it up just for a little.
Switch it up. Who do we got winning though?
I have Bayley winning, eliminating Becky Lynch. Leo would like that though.
Yeah, Leo's he's pulling out his hair right now at the thought of Becky Lynch possibly winning the Royal Rumble and not his soon-to-be second restraining order, Liv Morgan. My guy, who do we got? Women's Rumble. Talk to me.
So final four, I'm gonna
Yes.
go Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Liv.
Of course.
I'm gonna go Becky. And I'm gonna throw Jade Cargill.
Listen, Ash by Elegance isn't in here anymore.
I said Jade
She's now in
Cargill.
TNA.
I said Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill.
My final
Okay.
four.
All right. There we go. There we go. Who do we got winning though?
I know. I've been saying
I mean,
it for
listen,
a while.
we already know your answer.
Nope,
I
I don't
already
think y'all
wrote
do.
it.
I don't think y'all
already
do.
wrote your answer, but we'll hear you say it just so that way at least you said it. You know what I mean?
I have Bailey
Oh,
eliminating Liv. So
what
Liv
changed?
Liv is the final one getting eliminated because I feel like what's gonna happen is Liv is gonna be in a Daniel Bryan situation from WrestleMania 30.
What's good,
Where
Pluggo?
we end up having a triple threat with Liv, Rhea, and Becky at Mania.
So Bailey eliminates Liv.
Yep.
Liv. Okay, so woo!
I told you I didn't know.
Guys, listen, this is starting to get real fun over here. I'm starting to get the meat sweats, like if Nia Jax didn't have a sandwich before. So I'm getting excited. You know what I mean? So listen, let's go with you, Leo. What made you change your answer from Liv to Bailey? Is it just because you believe that Liv is going to get that number one contenders from that elimination chamber? Or there is rumors that Rhea Ripley is defending her belt at the chamber at Perth this coming next month. So talk to me here.
Well, I mean, originally, like I said, I did have Liv, and I've been, still debating if it's gonna happen. And I've been one of those guys that I feel like it could happen because I think she could be made a star. I think she's always been very close to being made a star. I feel like they have potential to do something with Bailey is because you can have her be in this Batista type of role like they did with Batista in Evolution for a couple of years ago. And I think you could have, Bailey be in that spot and you build up to where she finally chooses who she's going to pick. You have her tease she's going to be doing Rhea until she gets jumped out shockingly out of nowhere, and then she comes back and chooses Io. But I think for Liv, I think you still could have a redemption story for her going into Mania to get that fan support behind her, for her coming up yet again for the second year in a row, finishing second in the Royal Rumble. And then you build off of that going into the chamber. If you have her be, I don't know if it's gonna be for the title or not, but if it's for the title, I think she makes it to the final three or so, or maybe if they don't have Rhea be defending the title, I think she ends up winning it. I even said maybe if they do the chamber, you have Becky and Liv the final two, and they end up having a double pin where both of them technically pin each other, so both of them technically get the win in a sense, to where they're both going to be facing Rhea for the championship going into Mania.
Let me ask you a question, Leo. This
Go
is
for
for
it.
everybody in the chat and everybody here in the group right now. Do you think your face is going to look like this if Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble itself?
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Indeed. All right, I figured this is gonna be.
Is that really happening? Is that a real thing?
No. This is like a still shot from Roman when he lost.
Is that tweet real? Is she really the GM of NXT?
Oh yeah. She just became GM.
Oh, and also forgot to mention for NXT, William Regal is back. He just showed himself tonight.
Yes.
Oh.
So shout out to William Regal.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Well, his son now is in.
What a way to waste William Regal.
WWE at its finest. We have William's son is over at in Japan doing Old Japan wrestling now, representing NXT, which is really exciting. So I'm very excited for that. But I feel like that's going to be Byron's face the moment The Rock wins, and he now has to watch the internet burn down. Yeah, burn down to the ground. All righty, let's get back into it, gentlemen. So, my guys. Asa, we're going to kick it back to you, buddy. Let's get to you. Becky, Bailey, Elba Fire, and Asuka. And then, of course, Funky Toe Beck taking the win. Why Elba Fire? Why Asuka? And why Becky Lynch?
Well, Elba Fire, I like the witches a lot. I think they're fun.
That's a fair answer.
No other reason. They entertain me. And you got to pick somebody who's not a superstar sometimes to throw in the final four. Somebody who you don't expect to make it there. Asuka.
Breaking news too. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but go ahead.
Asuka. I mean, she's one of the best they have. She should be expected to be there in the final four. I think definitely. I think she should be one of the favorites to win the thing, and no one's talking about her. But that's because she's obviously not going to win. We know how they do. They're not going to publicize a Japanese woman like that. And then what was your other question?
Why Becky?
I think her popularity, still. I mean, she's still riding high, but it's waned a little bit, and she could use a little boost. And I think the Royal Rumble would be a big boost for her. I think she could use it, and I think we're going to see Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Damn.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think Becky's definitely going to make it to Mania one way or another, whether it's fighting Nia Jax, whether it's fighting Rhea Ripley, whether it's a part of this triple threat or possible fatal four-way match between Rhea or even maybe Io. She could be going over to SmackDown now and facing someone like Io Sky to win that title back and kind of put her name solidified with the Legends again, right where it belongs. But we'll see. It's only a few days away. What are we, Tuesday? Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Tuesday.
4 days away. So definitely excited to see that. Big B, my guy. What are we talking here? Bailey, Becky, Nia Jax, AJ Lee, Bailey eliminating Becky. Talk to me. What made you think of this?
Yeah, I think we get a nice surprise. Maybe our biggest surprise of the night is either, I didn't say this in the men, but I'm just going to say I think is either Big E or AJ Lee. Those are my two big surprises we might get. So for the women, AJ Lee would be great. She comes back. Her husband is here. She's been training with her husband. She was in the show Heels, if you watch that. She looks great still. And I think maybe having her come back and that big moment of her returning and showing she can still go, and then Nia Jax just eliminating her and almost killing her, throwing her outside the ring would be fun. And then Becky gets her revenge on Nia Jax, eliminates her. And then Bailey eliminates Becky, like probably with some help from Damage Control maybe. And then we start the Bailey Io build possibly and how we get there. So I think Bailey deserves her flowers. She never gets her flowers. She was in the greatest women's match of all time along with Sasha Banks. Don't at me. That is the greatest women's match of all time. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. If you haven't watched it, go watch it again tonight. The greatest women's match of all time. Started the women's revolution. Those two women deserve their flowers. I think Bailey doesn't really get her flowers, much like Sasha doesn't at times. These two women, as much as we talk about Becky and Charlotte, they are the two of the best women ever. And Bailey deserves her flowers. She deserves her WrestleMania moment. And I think this is her time to get it. Did we see Sasha show up? I don't know, but I think Bailey deserves her moment.
Well, I'll be honest. There's a lot of rumors. Sean Ross Sapp is saying AEW. Our good old friend Dave Meltzer is saying WWE. So we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of talks between AEW, WWE. Same thing with Okada. Okada being another big signing that could be happening for WWE. But the biggest thing for him is I don't know if he's willing 100% to come over to the States to live. I know it's a little off topic, but on the topic of Sasha Banks and everything. With Okada, AEW is the only one that's willing to work within his means, meaning that he could still live in Japan and come over for shows to then go back to Japan and still do whatever he wants to do in order then for him just to come here and move. Because again, it's a big culture shock for someone like himself. Someone that I'm not 100% sure if he can, speaks the language that we speak over here as fluently as maybe some others that have came over and everything, like Konosuke Takeshita, I hear, has been learning English at a very, very rapidly pace and is learning it at very, very high intelligence. And it's very cool to see someone pick up the language that quickly. A lot of others, Nakamura, as well as Shida, and of course Vikingo and stuff, also know good portion of English and can speak and stuff like that in English. Maybe not in full-blown conversations and everything, but at least the bare bones minimum and how to coordinate things and stuff is more than enough. But yeah, we'll definitely see between Sasha Banks and Okada. I know that's a big thing that's happening right now with Okada and Sasha Banks as well. But we'll see here. As Wolf's saying, technically WWE could work around Okada's desire to live in Japan, but they might keep him on NXT. Reason is
Mako Satomura
is in NXT Superstar, and she doesn't live in the US. It's true. It's a possibility. Anything is possible.
I mean, TNA, you can't rule out TNA either. I mean,
well, TNA is also another safe spot for him because, as we know, a lot of the shows are pre-taped, and they tape them in a very large portion throughout the weeks and stuff, or not so weekly, so he doesn't have to travel as much, which is nice, so he could do other things in New Japan and stuff. But yeah,
if they put Okada in NXT, I will fly down there and chop that arena down with a fucking axe.
Now that's the shit we want to see on Saturday, Asa. If The Rock wins, all right, that's the type of intensity I want to see. If The Rock wins, all right.
Okada in NXT, Jesus Christ.
Hey man, yeah, Wolf said it. Leo said it, not me. All right, Byron, it is time.
Wait, you asked for my Final Four? I know you got my Final Four, but I don't think you asked.
Did I ask? No, did I not ask you?
You asked my Final Four, but you didn't say the reason why I had them.
Oh, I thought I did. I thought I started with you.
No.
Oh, all right. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Okay,
I thought I started with you.
Okay, go down with my Final Four just to make sure.
Ash by Elegance, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill. No, I'm kidding. Bailey, Liv, Becky, and Jade, and then Bailey eliminating Liv.
Okay, so I have Jade because I feel like she might be the Iron Woman in this match and have numerous eliminations. So I feel like they would have the Iron Woman be in the Final Four just so you can have her make a statement throughout the Rumble. And she's in the Final Four with some of the bigger stars. You have Bailey because like I said, the Batista storyline. I mean, Liv, she's back and she wants to finally finish her story and finally prove that she can be a top star in the WWE. And Becky, I mean, she has definitely been one of the bigger talent. I think someone that is definitely going to be a huge roadblock for either any one of these women on any given night if you're put them in the Rumble. So I do think, with all the different stories intertwining, I feel like you gotta have those as my Final Four. But I do have Liv being the last eliminated again this year.
It's all right. She can always smoke up and forget about it. You know what I mean?
But
so.
I mean, she could always bounce back. I don't know. I mean, the reason why because think about it. I feel like the reason why I have her there because she would be a sleeper that a lot of people wouldn't expect to win, but still should be considered a possibility at every year. I think she's always in the running to win, but just they never pull the trigger on her. And I think, why not have her in there as a possible backup, as a possible swerve to everybody? Just as like, oh, you thought Becky was going to win. Oh, you thought Bianca was going to win. You thought Jay was going to win. You thought all these different bigger stars were going to win. Nope, we got you again. I think she could be a swerve for a lot of people, but still can work.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It is possible. It is possible. We'll see. We'll see if Liv Morgan actually makes her debut or return, I should say, back to WWE at Royal Rumble, or is she going to be someone that comes later on, maybe Elimination Chamber on a Raw, on a SmackDown, and everything. Well. So, we will see. But Leo, we'll stay with you. We're on our final event. This is the final match of the evening, which is the Fatal 4-Way match between the Tribal Queef, Rachel Reigns, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight himself,
Yeah.
all going for the big mustard belt, as we all know it to be, the McDonald's Gold. Leo, how are we doing the match for you? Are we keeping it? Are we changing it? Are we changing some of the opponents? Are we changing the stipulation of the match? Talk to me.
Three of those things you said I'm going to do. I'm
Okay.
changing the stipulation for one.
Okay.
I'm changing the participants.
Woo.
And I'm changing the entire match.
Whoa.
So Roman will be defending that championship. Let's say his story is pretty much everybody is gunning for Roman. A blast from his past of different people that he has wronged since he's became champion. So he is going to defend that title in a 6-pack challenge elimination style match.
So a 6-man elim match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who are the opponents? Roman?
Roman's defending
Right.
against Sami Zayn,
Okay.
Cody Rhodes,
Damn.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
I'm also going to throw in a returning Big E.
Woo.
And I'm also going to say main event Jey Uso.
Okay. Wow. Who do you have winning?
I have Drew McIntyre
Wow.
winning
Wow.
the championship, leading to him walking into getting his moment. But Cody is inches away from getting it before he is met with a Claymore out of nowhere, setting things up for WrestleMania. Former tag team champions gunning for it for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship.
Damn. You got to tell me what made you think of that. That, you know.
Because I thought about this, because think about it. Roman has wronged so many people, so many different people that he has faced over the past few years who've all had legitimate chances and all became close to winning the championship, only to get screwed over by the bloodline. Cody got screwed over. Jay got screwed over. Like, you got Sammy got screwed over. You got many different people. I mean, all these different people. Drew, who had a start, could have won at Clash of the Castle. I really thought he was going to win. He got screwed over. So all the people that got screwed over by Roman, and the odds are not stacked in his favor, and he loses it because he is the first eliminated in the match, because everybody surrounds the ring and everybody jumps him Shield style, and each one of them hit a finisher and pin him. In the same situation where he beat not Roman, but Roman pinned Daniel Bryan and Edge, when he stacked them and pinned them, come back full circle, all the people who has wrong have stacked and pinned the tribal chief, getting him out first, and the reign is over, declaring there is a new era about to be witnessed, a new champion about to be crowned. And I thought of so many different people. I mean, Jay would have been a great candidate. Cody, but I think his best moment should be at Mania. I think Drew McIntyre finally getting his moment, finally overcoming the odds, finally getting his flowers, finally getting his due, and becomes the new champion of SmackDown.
Well, I'll tell you this now. I don't need Blue Chew anymore, because that made me very excited to hear. Very excited to hear. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's going to be hard to sleep tonight.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's going to be, that might be hard to beat.
Yeah.
But let's see. Let's see what Byron has to say to that one. Byron, what do you got for me? Are we changing the match? Are we changing the stipulation? Are we changing the opponents? Are we keeping everything the same? Is The Rock going to beat the holy hell out of Roman at the Fatal 4-Way? What's happening, buddy?
I'm still pissing people off tonight.
Yes,
Leo,
go.
that's a valiant booking thing, but we know Roman's not losing that title. I think Roman's breaking that Hogan record, by the way. It's a lot of notice a lot of Hogan on your TV lately. It's a reason behind that. Anyway, yeah, Roman's breaking that record, I
The
think.
stat pattern is
Especially if we're
on
getting
nerves.
Roman. Well, we're getting Roman
Appreciate
Rocket.
it, son.
Sorry, Cody fans, but anyway, yeah, the Fatal 4-Way is okay. I mean, it kind of adds some unpredictability to it. I probably would have went Roman AJ because he was written off from
Well, this
TV
is your
being beat up
time.
by the
This is your time
right.
to shine.
Yeah, I would do Roman AJ 1-on-1.
So one on
Then
one.
then maybe do Roman Randy at the Chamber. Make Roman show up to work. But since we're doing a Fatal 4-Way, we know LA Knight's not winning. We know AJ's not winning. I think we get maybe we get Randy Orton punt kicking Roman because I think Roman's going to take like 10 minutes out this match where he's not doing anything.
Wait. You know that you're booking the show. It's not the prediction. Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you want to do the one-on-one with AJ and Roman, or
I mean, if we're going to do the one-on-ones, I do Roman and AJ. I think that could be a good match.
okay? So
Because
Roman and AJ. Out of that, who do you have winning?
I have Roman winning, but I think, AJ makes everyone look good. And
Right.
Roman and AJ would be a nice match. But I do think you do Roman and AJ, and then I think you could do Orton RKO's Roman at the end to kind of set up their match, just because I think it's something that could still happen. But
Right.
if it's just to a point now where Roman's not losing, so it's just
Yeah, I kind of not watch the match. I already know that Roman's winning.
Yeah, I
so
really. That's why I don't
it's
get
just
invested
like-
in thought run matches. Just
and that's the thing.
they're
It's like you don't really
repetitive.
want to put too much effort into it because the man's not losing, and it looks like it's
I
going to
just
be
don't like
Roman
the
and Rock.
ending.
Yeah, well, the ending is because he's a big jabroni. So and now
Yeah,
the
'cause
Rock's
it's
board
like
of directors. So God only knows how long he could actually last as tribal queef. Going.
Not if I could stop it. Put me in.
Listen, you still got to
I'll
go
start
fight those
training.
micro brawlers. All right, that's your first match. You got a long way to climb that ladder before we get to you and Roman Reigns. Asa, talk to me, buddy. What do we got and how we doing it?
I'm gonna be a little boring with this one. I'm gonna keep the match as is. Just because I'm gonna have Roman keep the belt. But that's just because I'm going to have Roman lose the belt next month.
Okay.
So.
Okay. That's how you would want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, I think Leo got the best one out of all of us there.
Leo trying to bury Roman. He's trying to bury Roman.
I mean,
he's buried everybody that he's come across.
Not for nothing. It makes the most sense. You know what I mean? Like in Leo's stipulation, like it makes the most sense. You want to take out your guy that is the champion. If you five can all stack on top of this man and have him not kick out and eliminate him, now you know that the odds are in your favor a whole lot more than it was going into this match. So right off the bat, you now have, in the words of the great Steiner math, a 55th and a third chance of winning this math, and I think honestly it's exciting like that. I would rather see than a fatal 4-way because in my opinion, and I want to hear from everybody here, who's taking the pin? Because you have AJ who just came back, you have Randy who just came back, and you have LA Knight who already lost at the last pay-per-view against Roman and looking like a jabroni. You don't want to make Randy look bad, he's not taking the pin. Nope. You don't want AJ to look bad, so he's not taking the pin. Is it really LA Knight taking the pin again at Royal Rumble and then just putting him further down the card? And if that's the case, then why isn't he having the match with Logan Paul, in my opinion, for the United States Championship instead of Kevin Owens?
Because you know why this match happened, right? So I did research. The reason why they did this fatal 4-way because they literally said they don't want Randy coming back and losing his first match.
Right, but that's my
case.
They
do that all the time. They have people come back and lose their first match.
And to be honest with you, if that's the case, then don't have Randy in the match.
Because AJ just came back, and I was thinking AJ and Roman were gonna have a shit of one-on-one match, which is cool. Because it's interesting. And the last time we seen them two face was back in 2016. Can you believe that? The last time we seen Roman Reigns
with how much time he takes off? Yes.
And this is before we got this whole tribal queef stuff. This
Yeah.
is back when we said we had the big dog still.
Yeah, big Weta. The big pisser.
Like, I don't understand. It's like, and the last time we seen Roman in a fatal 4-way was literally 2017 at SummerSlam when it was him, Lesnar, Joe, Strowman. That was the last time we seen him in a fatal 4-way. We
And
seen him
Samoa Joe
in
should have won that match.
Samoa
Yep.
Joe should have just beat Brock straight up 1-on-1 at literally Great Balls of Fire. But we're not going to get into that. But WWE, you dropped the ball, but it's okay. He's doing better than in AEW than would have done in WWE. Let's get past that. But
Yeah.
I
Look,
still think
Go ahead.
I just don't understand what is it really going to take for WWE to see that it's kind of right now it's ran its course. It's really not working anymore. You can kind of see the fans are tired of Roman. They don't really like Roman. He's really getting booed now. You have a few people that still cheer him, of course, hypocritical people, but we're not going to get into that. You want to put your ones up, but you were the same people that was talking about he should lose. But okay.
I put my ones up. It's just not the one that I can put on live.
Exactly. But that's how I feel every time I see a Roman Reigns match. Okay. But I just don't think I think it's ran its course because I heard what you said earlier, Brian, and honestly, I really don't want to see them do the whole Hogan thing. I feel like they might still do that because they like the stat pad all the time. But I just feel like if you do that, you really have dug yourself in an even deeper hole than you've already been in for years now. The reason why I say that is because literally after Mania, he's going to take another break. And at that point, it's like, who else do you really have? Because I feel like you've really beaten all the top stars at that point. Anybody else that he hasn't faced yet.
He's beaten
has not
everybody
been-
except Nick Aldis and Samantha Irving, okay? And Michael Cole. Those are the only 3 left on his hit list that he has to fight.
And I feel like
Like,
everybody else
there's
that
nobody else.
everybody else that he hasn't
else.
faced, everybody else that he hasn't faced yet hasn't been built up to even look like a threat to
Right.
his championship reign. I know one of the people that I would love to see him face hasn't been built up yet. And Asa, you made a mention to him earlier, Ricochet. I would love to see Ricochet and Roman go up against each other in a straight up David versus Goliath storyline. But he hasn't been built up to even look like a threat. He's going to look like a joke that entire feud. Nobody's going to take him serious. And it's like, even if he did have a strong showing, I don't have faith in WWE to have a strong anything big for him after that. He's just going to fall right back down the card. He's going to be right back to where Finn Balor was when he got screwed over that one year. And what happened with him? He couldn't recover from that for a while. And I don't want to see Ricochet suffer the same fate. I mean, Bobby Lashley. That's the only other feud I can see them doing after that because you're going to have the Bloodline versus Hurt Business or whatever.
Wait. The Soup Profits? Ace's favorite tag team? Against Roman Reigns?
No, I didn't say that. I said Bobby Lashley versus Roman.
He's a part of it. He's the manager of the Soup Profits. He's the manager of the Soup Profits. Look at them. They fly. They fly now. They got some designer suits on.
And
Montez has that show now coming out February 2nd on Hulu with Bianca.
I even thought about this. This man, I know we just said this. Ace, I don't know how you feel about this. But I would love to see them run this match back. Maybe do Montez Ford and Roman Reigns again. I think that match that we seen a couple years ago with Montez Ford was a little taste of what he can bring to the table as a main event star if booked correctly. I would love to see what you do with him now. Like, I know he's in this whole Street Profits thing, but I really feel like it's time to break away from that and still keep them together, but allow Montez Ford to be a big main event star, and you can have Angelo Dawkins be like a mid-card guy going after the US or IC belt. Like, you can still keep them together, but still go after other goals at the same time. Like, this is something I want to see for Montez Ford. He is somebody that I've been hoping to be a breakout star for years now. And I feel like that would be a huge moment for him to actually show what he's really capable of doing.
Yeah.
They need to have Angelo Dawkins be a cleaning up the locker room guy, and have Montez Ford break out like he should.
Because look what he did in Elimination Chamber last year for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Y'all can't tell me that they shouldn't have done something with him. Imagine if he won Money in the Bank.
What if Jimmy and Angelo Dawkins become a tag team?
Don't do that. No.
Look at Ace's face. Ace's face tells it all right there. All right, maybe. Listen, I like the Soup Profits. I always break Ace's balls about them being his favorite tag team and everything. One day I know when I come to Revolution, that's the first thing he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so happy you're here in my home." Yada yada yada. You're gonna fucking die now for talking about the Soup Profits. Like that's it. And I'm just gonna get choked the fuck out. I'm not even gonna make it to Olive Garden. I'm not making it to Revolution. I'm not making it even home. That's it. I'm not even gonna make it out of North Carolina.
Get
I'm gonna be
choked out and wake up in the back of a van in an ice bath missing a kidney.
Damn. Well, hey, listen. I dug my grave. But no, I mean, listen, I think that we have here, going back to the topic, we have here definitely a very interesting Royal Rumble to look forward to. Men's Royal Rumble definitely is going to be one that we're going to be keeping our eyes on because, like we said in the beginning, this is the one that's going to determine whether or not a lot of these so-called stories are going to have, chapter 2s and conclusions. And are we actually going to finish Cody's story at WrestleMania 40? What's going to happen for Elimination Chamber and setting that up as well, including the Women's Rumble as well. What it's going to be like come Elimination Chamber and everything. But, this Fatal 4-Way, I think it's kind of lame. I think it's kind of very weak in booking because, again, Randy just came back. AJ Styles just came back. LA Knight has been getting buried by Roman for a little while now. I feel like LA Knight doesn't need to be in this picture with Roman at the moment, only because, one, we haven't seen him with the title yet. And that also begs the question. This is going to be the last one, and then we'll wrap up the show here. But I want to hear from everybody is LA Knight hasn't had a title, and we still love him for that. If LA Knight does have a title, and the title being the United States title, do we believe that LA Knight's stature and his name and gimmick can still hold weight and carry him into that bigger main card, main scene roster?
I mean, I feel like it could. I just feel like one of the things with LA Knight is when he's put into these type of matches, like these big, marquee matches, he's put into positions where he's not going to win.
Right.
I feel like that's just the sad part about it. He's put in positions where he's not going to win, unfortunately. Roman, he wasn't going to win. Money in the Bank, he shockingly did not win. He has been held back, I think, a few times with this U.S. title scene. Like when Ray was holding it, I thought it was going to be LA Knight winning the tournament. And no, they end up, having the whole thing, and Santos Escobar was in it. Then they had this thing with Logan Paul end up winning it. So there's been different missed opportunities with him, I would say. I feel like if he was on Raw, I feel like it may have been just a little bit different. Only because I feel like the chances of him possibly being a world champion and a main event player would be a little bit better just because you have different players on Monday Night Raw. Like you have your Seth Rollins, you have your Finn Balor and your Judgment Day, you have your Damian Priest, you have your CM Punk there, and everything like that. When you look at SmackDown, you have literally Roman Reigns literally holding that title hostage. And everybody that comes up against him, everybody wants them to beat Roman, but time and time again gets screwed over time and time again, allowing Roman to keep that title on his shoulder and that reign continuing. And unfortunately for LA Knight, he was one of the victims of that. So I would say him finally getting a title would be the moment for him. I think, for me personally, I think he's the guy that possibly ends up beating Logan Paul for that title at Mania. I think that's the match you go with. We've seen the teases of them in the lead up to Money in the Bank last year. We've seen them kind of have a little bit of jabs towards each other. So I feel like they probably revisit that and kind of amp it up even more. And then you have that be the feud going into Mania for the U.S. title. Because I think LA Knight is somebody that I do think could get eyes on that championship and get eyes on any feud that he is in with that U.S. title.
Okay. Asa?
Damn, I forgot the question now.
Do we think that his name
Oh, LA Knight. Okay,
Yeah.
LA Knight. If he's gonna step up in the card, he needs to step up more in the ring.
Mm.
I think his in-ring skills don't match his mic skills.
Okay.
I think that's something he needs to work on. And I think that kind of falls flat for me. And that I don't know. That's where it is for me. If he's gonna move up on the card, he's got to get some new moves going. He's got to get a little better selling going as well.
Okay.
But definitely some new offensive moves going.
Byron, we'll end it with you. What do we feel about with LA Knight?
I would have put the Money in the Bank on him. He was magma hot around that time last year. I
Yeah.
think the Money in the Bank would have been perfect, and I would have had him cash in on Seth Rollins and win the title at like SummerSlam or something, or hold it till WrestleMania 40. Let him be the man to cash in after WrestleMania. Maybe, you have a CM Punk Rollins match or CM Punk Gunther or whomever it would have been. Or hey, I'd piss people off at WrestleMania. You have Cody. Let's say Cody beats Roman, for example. You have a LA Knight cash in and take his moment, and Cody
You
gets
just
the
want the
belt.
internet to go on
Why
fire.
do you hate Cody?
I love Cody. I just want people to be pissed off.
He just wants violence. He just wants
Plus,
violence.
I feel like Cody has been booked terribly in WWE. He has looked like a bitch boy.
Yeah,
The Super
I
Cena
wouldn't
stuff
say
is
I
not-
wouldn't
not
say
working
he's
out.
booked terribly. I feel like the first feud with him with Seth Rollins was good. I feel
It
like
was, but they didn't need 3 matches where he beats him 3 times.
And
Then you make
I
Seth
disagree
look
with
stupid.
Asa. I think the Brock shit was absolute garbage.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Garbage.
I just feel like
Garbage.
have-
All
I
three
think-
matches.
I think with
I
all
fell
these
asleep
different-
during one on Alive. That shows how much of an interest I had during that match. Sam had to wake me up and be like, you're live, right? And I'm like, oh, yes. Totally.
I just think with the different acquisitions like The Rock coming in and Punk coming in, it's kind of knocked like Cody Rhodes down the card a bit, and it sucks because it's
Getting
like
a Cody Rhodes
ne-
pipe bomb soon. Wait for it.
I really feel like the same thing. I feel bad for Cody just because it's like when he came back, that's what he wanted to do is win the WWE title.
I don't feel bad for him. He had everything he wanted and he left. He had a whole company and he left because he thought he was bigger than the company and he wanted to be the boy, the guy in WWE. He wanted to finish his story. He could have finished his story in AEW. He could have beat
Wait, but-
MJF at All In. He could have beat.
No, he can't. No, in
Yeah, he
AEW,
could've.
he-
Yeah, he
could have.
no.
Because if you
could've.
realize he cut their
You
promo.
kidding?
He said
Cody
my
versus
my
MJF in the
contract.
title?
He
For a
cut,
no,
title
I'm
match?
not saying
he
that.
cut,
But
if you
remember
listen to
what
him, he
happened.
cut a promo and said, "I now am without a contract. I no longer have an AEW contract." When he lost to Sam Guevara, the story could have been he has a new contract. He has the ability to fight his way back for a championship. You have your
Right.
biggest show, All In, which Cody helped create. They said they're not going to sell that many tickets to Dave Meltzer. They sold the tickets with the Young Bucks. Cody, MJF. Cody could have won it, have his story right there, and beat MJF.
I
think
kind of
they
agree
did
with that too.
something. I know
What-
it might have been in his contract, but I know he had a match, and I think the stipulation was if he lose the match, he never could challenge for the AEW championship again.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. That was to Jericho, I think. But I'm saying his contract was ending.
Yeah, but then
yeah.
Moxley won it.
Yeah.
And then Moxley lost at Full Gear 2022.
there are
so
ways
we're-
around.
we're
there are ways
talking-
around it.
We're talking Cody could have been TNT, tag, trios, champion for the time being. He could have been international champion for the time being. And then once MJF won, leaving it after Jericho, after Moxley, going after MJF being a role model to Cody Rhodes. I mean, how many promos last year did MJF cut saying the American roller coaster, my mentor, my guy that took me under his wing when I came into AEW? That's Cody.
I mean,
Cody could have been the guy at AEW. But the thing with AEW and WWE, and I think this is another reason why he left, is that WWE as a business, as a whole, gives him more opportunities to do a whole lot more things and push him to a higher pedestal than AEW can offer. AEW could offer him all the money he wants in the world. He could be an EVP. He could be the CEO. He could be the COO. He could be the janitor. He could be the guy that does the bank account. He could do whatever he wants in AEW. But the problem with Cody is Cody wanted to do one thing, which was recapture that moment that was stolen from Dusty. And with that being said, Vince apologizing, saying that I can't believe you did all these things without me, showing that I could be something without you, Vince, coming to WWE and now having a brand new pedestal that, yeah, many of us might say that, you know, Cody's not getting booked right, and I agree with that. And I agree that maybe some of his stuff has been more promo based and wrestling based. His matches haven't been all that exciting, the direction that he's been going in since WrestleMania 39, since the Seth Rollins stuff hasn't been everything that I wanted it to be. It hasn't been everything that I thought it should have been. Him cutting that Dusty Rhodes promo in the modern era was going to be that pivotal moment for that fork in the road where he now can start finding his way in the 2023 into 2024 as WWE champion, but yet took a different path, fighting Brock, becoming tag team champions, bringing over Jey Uso, kind of being an EVP without the title in Monday Night Raw, kind of re-solidifying that AEW feel to him, at least for me, as what we are getting with Cody Rhodes now. But with WWE, because they are a bigger global business and a bigger brand, Cody gets something that AEW can never offer him, which is a publicity and a push that AEW can never do for him. And I think that's another reason why he left AEW. Besides everything else that he wanted to accomplish, he knew that I could go on my own. I proved it in Evolve. I proved it in House of Glory. I proved it on the indie scene. I proved it in New Japan. I proved it by making an AEW brand. I proved it by making a company. I don't need you, Vince, but I need you because I want to do this one thing that matters to me more than every other accomplishment that I've ever done. And Vince was willing to give it to him. The direction that we're going for him, I still feel is a little bit
unclear.
Lopsided. It's very lopsided. It feels like they know that Cody's going to finish this story. They know that they got this bloodline thing, which right now, not for nothing, kind of feels like the NWO when it started to fade out before it was really eliminated from WCW in a sense of, just we haven't really heard much about it. There's not really a lot of talks about it. It's been a lot of Roman this, Roman that, Jimmy this, Jimmy that, Solo this, Solo that. They haven't really been referencing the bloodline as much in these past few months and even last year. So there is a lot of missed opportunities with all of that as well. But for Cody, it does feel like we're just waiting. And my thing is this. The moment it happens, it's for how long?
Yeah,
how long the
it's
moment
like-
really happened?
Because
Because
if he wins it at 40 and he loses it at listen, anything's possible. He could lose it at Backlash, people. I don't think they'll do that to him, but he could lose it at Backlash.
that's why I
He
said just
could
have him
lose
win
it
it and
at
have him
Money
get
in the
cashed in on.
Bank. He could lose it at Survivor Series, which means if, let's say, Survivor Series is when he's losing it, that's about 5-ish months of story. What the fuck are you going to really do with him for 5 months when all of this time building into Rumble and Mania and Elimination Chamber has been very wishy-washy?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and like you brought up a lot of good points. I think with Cody, I think his story with Roman, I think the moment was there for them to pull the trigger, but I think it was WWE's part of wanting to. This might sound rude to a lot of people, but I feel like WWE just wanted to stat pad him because they wanted. They were stat padding
they've
because
always
they
been
wanted
that, though.
They've always been that way.
They've always been
because
that way.
They wanted that headline of like, 1,000 days. But 1,000 days of what?
They could have
Really?
They could have done that with Cody.
1,000 days of literally cheating your way out of
And
every
and
potential
you know, and
match.
as much as we make fun of Roman and we call him the tribal queef and the part timer and the Fast and Furious guy, he is battling leukemia. And with that being said, is another reason it seems, again, this is just me thinking, it
Yeah.
seems like a lot of the time off is because of that.
Right.
And, you know, listen, when he left the first time, it was scary.
It
You know,
was,
as
'cause he
someone
wasn't-
that
he wasn't
didn't
sure.
really know who the hell he was, hearing that, I felt bad. I felt bad for Joe. I
Mhm.
felt bad for him because it's not a funny disease. It's a very scary disease. You know, he has children, he has a family, he has priorities outside of the WWE, outside of us. He has major and more important priorities. But
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know, maybe I'm being the bad guy here, but if I'm looking at it as a business person, as much as I want to stat pack, as much as I want to do this, as much as I want to do that, Roman wouldn't be the guy to do that with. And I would kind of equate that to McFoley couldn't be the guy to do that with because Foley put his body through 20 years of hell.
Yeah.
I mean, missing ear, every single part of his body's broken. They kept the championship on Foley for 3 months, 4 months. You know, the guy could have landed one wrong way at any time.
And it was over.
Done.
I mean, this might sound a little crazy because I know people have been saying, you know, this whole story with Cody might be unclear. But let me redirect you. If he didn't get injured, I'm gonna put this question to you, Dylan. Do you know what would have happened if Cody didn't get injured in 2022 after his feud with Seth?
2023?
2022, because he
came
got
back in
injured.
22?
He came back at WrestleMania 30 in 2022. He
God,
was
for that fucking
injured.
long?
He got injured in
He still
June,
hasn't
and
put
he
the
came
title
back in 2023. So, do you know what would have happened if he didn't get injured in that before Hell in a Cell?
He probably would have been champion.
He would have won Money in the Bank.
Right.
So I think if he doesn't get factored in this year for WrestleMania, which I hope he is, I have him win Money in the Bank and have him cash in that way.
It's too long. I'll be honest with you. If he doesn't win by WrestleMania,
Yeah, the stories
if
might
he
be
doesn't
done.
win if after Mania night 1 or night 2 happens, Cody's not the one raising that belt up, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because I feel like
don't
at
give
that
a shit.
point, WWE just
I don't
pretty
give a
much
shit. And I don't
wasted
give a
our
shit
time.
because it's too long now. There's no story. I could have read the fucking series on unfortunate events backwards before finishing his story. Like, you know, all jokes aside, like, it's too long. The guy's been back since 22, since WrestleMania 22.
because he
So we're talking almost 2 years. Come this Mania.
Mm-hmm.
2 years. He's had the opportunity.
Yeah,
Mine 22 aside, he's had the opportunity. He won the Rumble last year.
which he returned at from injury. And then you had,
And then he loses at 40. Okay. Now I'm going to cut the promo of it's hard times. It's hard times. Okay.
39. Yeah, because he lost at 39. Yeah.
So then Brock comes out, and now it's a feud with him. Makes no sense. That doesn't add anything to his story. Some will disagree with me, and that's fine. To me, I don't see it as adding. I see it as subtracting. Then you go and you make him a Raw superstar from SmackDown, and then you bring over Jay, which we then assume is going to start that Jimmy feud, which doesn't really happen as of right now. I mean, some are wearing blue, some are wearing red, yada yada yada. But
you got Crit versus Blood here.
Yeah, but like that's besides the point. Cody wins the tag team titles,
That ain't
then
finishing
loses the
story.
tag team titles, and now we're here.
Because literally he has a
You know what I
list
mean?
of
Like
everything.
it's just To me, it's just this consistency of dangling a carrot in front of his face, and he's just nibbling at it, but never getting it at its full thing. And it's sad because Cody could be doing what Roman wants to do if they were to give him the belt.
But that's the problem. It looks like they were going to give him the belt last year. I think the way they kind of set up, it looked like it was hit for the taking, but they didn't go with it. They didn't pull the trigger. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those cases. Like, if not WrestleMania 39 and not this year, I feel like it's not going to happen because, like you said, they're going to keep dangling this carrot that he's going to win and give him all of the fans a false hope that he is, only to time and time again to keep pulling the rug from underneath us and him and never pull the trigger because they want to keep stat padding and giving Roman Reigns the belt when it's time to freshen things up. Because think about, if you do give him the belt, there's new feuds that you could do with him that we couldn't get, like the heels that we can have on SmackDown, and plus the draft even can bring up new and talent from NXT, like a Braun Breaker coming up, like a Carmelo Hayes, like these different talents that need to be elevated, but they can't be elevated if you're not changing the game.
Right.
But if you change the game in the sense of putting the title on Cody, you could do that.
Yeah. All right. We spoke a lot about this. This was just supposed to be a booking show. Then it turned into a fucking debate show, which maybe that'll be another podcast, but down the road. All right. Thank you guys, of course, so much. We appreciate it. I'm going to send all of you guys your picks so that way you guys can make your own Twitter polls and everything for the Royal Rumble. So that way all of you great people here in the chat, the Jordans, the Wolves, the Erics, the Pluggos, and everybody else in between can make your picks and choices on who picked and booked a better show. And then we'll read out all of our results throughout the Royal Rumble live. We are going to be doing a live watch along for the Royal Rumble this coming Saturday right there. As you can see, we also have AEW Dynamite tomorrow night over here on the channel. And then, of course, Friday night at 8 p.m. is the Royal Rumble predictions. But the biggest thing of them all that I want to talk about quickly and then leave it over to my great people over here in the group chat. Thursday night, House of Glory's own tag team champions, my guy, Ringmaster Midas and the Blazing Lion are going to be here talking all things of their journey and so much more. I cannot wait to talk to them. I got like 10, 11 questions for these guys. These guys, and I'll say it again, these guys have faced the Briscoes, mind you, not once, not twice, but 3 times. These guys have faced the Rascals, Bollywood Boys, the Rep House. Rikishi had a dancing segment with him. They also have faced Brick City Boys. They've also faced Private Party, Genesis, and Milk Chocolate, ABC, and so many more amazing tag teams over there. I've met them a bunch of times. I've talked to them a bunch of times. They're really great, genuine guys, and I'm so excited for all of them to be here with us this coming Thursday. That'll be at 7 p.m. right here on the Last Week in Wrestling podcast. But do you guys have anything you want to plug? I know Asa has something for this Sunday. Leo, Byron, do you guys have anything quick before I pass it over to Asa?
So I will be doing
hold on.
quiz.
There you go.
I will be doing a Royal Rumble quiz to get ready for Rumble. So those, I got a little series of like a Final Four, Rumbles, stuff like that. That's gonna be on my channel. But we're on the road to 50. We're at 40 subscribers right now. We're 10 subscribers away from 50, but the ultimate goal is 10K this year.
Cool. So happy for you. So proud of you. Byron, my guy, talk to me. What do you got cooking?
Yeah, just join us this week for the Royal Rumble live stream, and I'll be here probably in between as well on the live stream before and after as well. And I'll be here for Dynamite, and check our channel out for previews and predictions and a lot more content this week. I'll be giving my match predictions and breaking it down as well.
Dope. Asa, talk to them, buddy.
Sunday at 12:45, as always, we're doing the Retro Wrestling Watch Along. And so the Royal Rumble will be done on Sunday. So next month is Elimination Chamber, but it's also, Sting's retirement month. So we're going to go back and forth doing those. So we're going to start with a show that highlights Sting. And that show we're starting with on Sunday is the NWA Clash of Champions 1. It was a show from the Greensboro Coliseum. Sting and Ric Flair were the main event, and they did it. They put it on. So we're going to watch that on Sunday, 12:45. Show up. We'll talk about the card. And then right at 1 p.m., we start the show. And it's Clash of the Champions. I believe it's under the WCW part of the WWE network.
Over on Peacock. I gotcha. So yeah, I'll be a part of that. I'm very excited, and I'll definitely be looking forward to that one. Also, with the Royal Rumble watch along here, I just want to quickly say that we are going to also be doing the press conference going forward, both WWE and AEW. We are going to be covering both and all press conferences after every single one of those pay-per-views, giving our thoughts, our takes, as well as maybe some tidbits and stuff like that from what they have to say about all of their talent and things moving forward. So definitely come by and check us out. Like I said, tomorrow, AEW Dynamite. That card looks absolutely stickety stacked, and I cannot wait to watch it all with you all. We don't have an outro, just like we don't have an intro, so we're going to awkwardly wave goodbye as I click the going off live button. And that is it. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday night. Hopefully you enjoyed NXT, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, guys. Everyone wave. Byron wave. Put down your phone. Wave. All right, there we go.